The unexpected power of a simple thank you. There's a quiet kind of magic in the words thank you. They're simple, almost ordinary, yet they carry the power to change the course of a moment, a day, even a life. Too often we underestimate their weight, tossing them out casually or withholding them altogether, not realizing how deeply they can heal, inspire, and connect us to one another. There was once a man named David, successful by every measure society could offer. He ran a thriving company, owned a house with a view of the ocean, and had more contacts in his phone than most could ever meet in a lifetime. Yet inside, he was exhausted. The endless grind of leadership had hardened him. Employees respected him, but they feared him too. Gratitude was something he thought belonged in greeting cards, not in boardrooms. One late evening, David stayed back to review reports when the janitor, a quiet, elderly man named Luis, entered the office to clean. David barely noticed him. Luis moved carefully, humming an old tune as he worked, wiping away the remnants of another long day. When he reached David's desk, he paused and said softly, "You've been working late a lot lately. Don't forget to rest. Even machines need breaks, sir." David looked up, startled. No one had spoken to him like that in years, with simple human concern. He nodded curtly, and Luis went back to work. A few nights later, as David was leaving, he saw Luis struggling to carry a large bag of trash down the stairs. Without thinking, David stepped forward to help. The man smiled, his eyes creased with gratitude. "Thank you," Luis said quietly. Those two words, soft, sincere, pierced something in David that success had buried. He couldn't explain it, but as he walked to his car that night, he felt lighter. The next morning, he began to notice things he'd long ignored. The tired receptionist who greeted everyone with a smile. The intern who stayed late to finish projects no one else wanted. The delivery driver who brought their packages rain or shine. So he began saying thank you. At first, it felt awkward, unnatural, almost weak. But as days passed, he saw what those words could do. The receptionist's eyes brightened. The intern began to take initiative. The delivery driver stood taller. A simple acknowledgement, "I see you, I appreciate you," changed the atmosphere of the entire office. Within months, the company culture began to shift. Employees started thanking each other. Mistakes were owned more openly and successes were celebrated more genuinely. Productivity increased, but more importantly, so did kindness. Gratitude had become contagious. Then, one morning, David received a handwritten note on his desk. It was from Luis, the janitor. "Sir, I'll be retiring next week. I wanted to thank you. You made me feel that my work mattered. All my life, I cleaned floors, but in your company, I felt I was helping build something bigger. Thank you for that." David sat silently, holding the note for a long time. He realized that in all his years of chasing achievement, he had overlooked the simplest truth. Appreciation is not a courtesy, it's a bridge between souls. A few days later, at the company's monthly meeting, he shared Luis's story. There were no slides, no metrics, no strategies, just a quiet reflection on the power of gratitude. When he finished, the room was still. Then, one by one, people began to applaud, not because of a target met, but because they recognized something profoundly human in what he said. From that day on, thank you became more than words at David's company. It became a culture, a habit, a heartbeat. Years later, long after David retired, the new CEO, once that same young intern who used to stay late, still kept a framed quote on her wall. Open quote, "Gratitude doesn't change what we have. It changes how we see what we have." Close quote. The unexpected power of a simple thank you lies not in how it is spoken, but in what it awakens: empathy, humility, connection. It reminds us that every person we meet carries a story, a struggle, and a quiet hope to be seen. And sometimes all it takes to honor that hope is two small words whispered sincerely from the heart. Thank you.